This guy checks all the boxes.
Well, it's Vincent Davis now in the game, but Pickett's going to keep it himself. He scored a touchdown on the ground last week. Will he add one this week? He does. Pitt retakes the lead.
And Kenny Pickett, this goes again as he shotguns something, probably not what you think it would be, but as he gets out of the shotgun and runs right behind his big center, Jimmy Morrissey, he read that defensive front. If there was a gap at all in there, he was going to take the sneak. He probably had the option to hand it off on.
So many good celebrations today. Welcome in to the wrap-up presented by Samsung. I'm Christine Williamson. This is our first show today. I got two guys in the studio with me, socially distanced. We got Treavor Scales and Gary Striewski in the building.
I don't leave the studio. I've been here since forever.
Yeah, I was watching you earlier. Jason Fitz was right here, so I sat in the seat, and all of a sudden I feel smarter and like I could probably crush on the violin.
Without question, Juilliard.
I'm a little upset right now, though, as
Why is that, bro?
sound plays. Because I thought this was a show about mummies, bro. It's called The Wrap-Up.
Come on
I thought
now.
we were talking about like our
Come on now.
Halloween
You come out
movies.
here.
I thought we were talking about Scorpion
Bad
King.
puns. You missed the memo on the uniform. Me and Christine got on pink, and you not gonna oblige us by teaming up on that. And you out the gates.
He already
let
just
me know
came,
next
he just
time.
came out the gate
Out of
with
pocket.
the dad jokes.
Out of
it's
pocket.
very corny. We knew this was all about college football. We're wrapping up the day in college football, but we're, it's like a little party. We're very fun people. So come hang out with us every Saturday at 11 p.m. So we got to start the show off with something that we saw.
Yeah.
Halftime, Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy had a very awkward interview.
Down to the field we go. Here's Chris.
Coach, what can you tell us about the status of Spencer Sanders?
What?
What can you tell us about the status of Spencer Sanders? What can you tell us about the status of Spencer Sanders?
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't been in there. They took him in to look at him and obviously didn't come back out.
Mike Gundy is not my favorite coach, I'm not going to lie. He's not nice. I have interviewed him many of times, and he's just not a nice guy. So, have you guys ever had an awkward interview like this?
All that aside, right? My man, we tried to get the social distance protocol going, right? We tried to make sure everybody was separate, everybody was, not spreading the spray or whatever have you. And my man's pulled the mask down and leaned forward. That's like the opposite of what you need to do. Like quite the opposite of what you need to do.
What is spreading the spray?
He wasn't just spitting on people. He wasn't just out there.
No, I'm not implying that, but we talk about the droplets. My man eliminated all safety measures by pulling down the mask and then leaning forward in that thing. Like, what we doing?
Okay, first of all, everybody knows. Coach, I got your back. Everybody knows when you get lost in the car, what's the first thing you do? You turn down the stereo and you're like, wait a minute, this is going to help me think more clear.
That don't help nothing.
Coach is 53 years old, and I say this because, well, I'm getting old too, in my 30s at this point. Sometimes you just got to throw everything that social media is going to torch you for out the window, and you just got to hear the question.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him at all for giving his good ear and asking to repeat the question. That's fine, Coach.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, don't even worry about public health or nothing. Like, that's straight. Like, don't even worry about it, bro. We good.
Here's the thing about Mike Gundy. I guarantee he wasn't doing that because he couldn't hear the question. He was trying to act like he couldn't hear the question because he didn't want to answer the question. I guarantee that's exactly what was happening.
Tinfoil hat on. Shout out to Christine. I like it.
Deep on the
I know.
wrap-up.
I know. I just know. Okay, so we gotta get to something really great that I love. Miami turnover chain. They busted it out today when Al Blades Jr. got it on the sideline after he, of course, picked off Louisville.
Okay, those are.
Hey, shout out my equipment manager immediately holding it up. He was like, hey, come get your shit. He was ready to flash that thing the whole time.
I'm gonna read the specs for this because it's absolutely ridiculous. All right, it weighs 300 grams, 2 kilograms, and is roughly 30 inches long. There are 700 green sapphires and 700 orange sapphires for the U. Inside of the logo, the Florida portion roughly contains 1,900 sapphires. Also, by the way, the U logo conveniently covers Tallahassee and Gainesville for a reason because University of Miami is taking over the whole state of Florida.
It's pretty
The
hard.
only thing I heard you say, C-Dub, was 700 violations, 700 sanctions.
Sapphires. First of all, that's so rude.
No.
That's so rude.
You assuming that they keeping that chain? We just a temporary acknowledgement of your
It's a
success.
loaner. Okay. It's a loaner.
You throwing out words that would potentially get people jammed up,
No
and I don't
interest.
appreciate you doing that, right? Like, just let them have this moment, bro.
I also love how we're like, 300 grams, 700 kilos. It's like, whoa, what are we talking about? Whoa.
I know, that was the measurement.
Here
I
you
don't
go.
know what.
Down the path that we don't need to be going
By the way,
down.
Miami did win. They took the business to Louisville and took care of business against the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure 40-27.
40-27.
27.
Actually, they're still playing, but.
No, and if I may, just
left.
real quick, like 6 minutes left, right? Like, this is just one of them statement games for the ACC, right? Like, Clemson needed somebody within the ACC to kind of step up and make sure that, it ain't just Clemson and everybody else. And so Miami having this good a showing against a Louisville team that people had, I don't want to say that people had expectations for this Louisville Cardinal team. So, helps the Clemson resi, essentially.
It is certainly a matter, too. Like, none of these ACC teams necessarily. Maybe the new Notre Dame will, but a lot of these ACC teams have to hover around that 10, 12, 15 overall rating to give more validity, to that Clemson team. So exactly to your point, it's a good thing that Miami and Louisville are scoring points, and Miami is winning in the way that they're winning right now.
It looked good.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing that Miami is winning because I personally am a
Did you go there, C-Dub?
Miami alum.
I always be wanting to call fraudulent fans
shout out
on Christine,
to University of Miami. What did you say?
I just feel like you be fraudulent sometimes,
Listen,
bro. I don't be knowing. Sometimes it be a little shaky, bro.
As long as Miami is winning, I will talk about it. But just so you know, I also went to Clemson for grad school, so I can rep them too. I never lose. We get no L's.
Christine's had to stay silent for the last 6 years. She says
it's been longer. It's been way longer than 6 years.
She only talks when Miami's winning, so she has not said a word.
She been chilling.
Since 2003.
Listen, it's been way longer than that. It's false. So did you say since 2003? That's not 6 years. I don't know if you know. It's 2020.
I think that's 2003 national championship, Ohio State. I think that was 03. Might have been 01.
But you said 6 years. That's 17.
My math is bad. It's late.
We roasting arithmetic on the wrap up.
Anyways, just know I'm gonna rep Miami real hard as long as we win and as long as we bust out that turnover chain. I'm also gonna rep Clemson very hard.
Fraudulent.
Right. Let's talk about another school. Boston College wide receiver Zay Flowers. He made this catch.
Hey man, so
and then
this
he
here
did a little juke on the defender.
My man pulled out the Madden, that right joystick. Yep. Put that mud backwards. Skirt.
So I might be a little bit too old for the people watching right now, but everybody needs to go YouTube Dante Hall versus the Denver Broncos.
That's timeless. You ain't got to worry about that.
Dante Hall, Denver Broncos, and he put the entire secondary and actually a partial part of the linebacking core on absolute skates.
I'm pretty sure the whole Denver sideline just fell. Everybody, the whole 53-man roster, everybody just fell
53 ACLs just buckled at that given second right there. So go Google it. Dante Hall, he was the X factor for a reason. That's what that
timeless clip.
Are we? Yeah. So you're saying that Zay Flowers reminded you of that?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Without question.
Cool. All right. Let's go to App State. We got an insane catch.
These guys are
Zach Thomas throws to the end zone for Jalen Virgil, who somehow makes the over-the-shoulder catch with a defender draped all over him.
Jalen Virgil, that should have been worth 50. You guys didn't get my Virgil joke?
No,
that was good.
Oh, wait, that actually was really good.
That was good.
I got it.
Look at C-Dub late to the party.
We gonna have to go back to the tape on that one. I ain't ready to just hand it. Yeah, hold on. The delayed reaction don't get bonus points. Watch out, bro. Watch out.
I just meant that I understood
We ain't awarding that.
Doesn't mean it's funny. I understood it.
She was laughing at herself for taking a minute. That's all that was.
I'm a low-key App State fan because they are in the mountains, in the Great Smokies. I just imagine the Appalachian State football team and everybody in that surrounding town just making moonshine. I think that's the one product that they make.
I think that's West Virginia.
First of all, you can't be just saying that about people.
That's not a negative thing.
No, it could be potentially illegal if you're talking about people that are under 21 years old, bro.
I'm just saying that's the vision that I get. Just shining.
I feel like
App State.
I mean,
carry on.
Have you had moonshine?
So you're basically saying that there's nothing else to do in App State except for drink moonshine.
Yeah.
You have limited opportunities. It's just not a whole lot going on in the North Georgia mountains.
Nobody said anything about Jalen Virgil, though. Were we impressed?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Because that was the football equivalent of N1.
Yeah,
and
100%.
That was incredible. 2 feet, 10 toes down. My man was good.
I can't disagree with the college football player who's sitting next to me, so I just agree.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work.
We got some highlights to get to. We mentioned that Miami-Louisville game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. First quarter. 1st and 10 for Miami. Derek King pass. Complete to Will Mallory for 17 yards for a TD. Miami up 7-3. Go Queens. There's actually a lot of fans in this game. I'm kind of concerned. All right, second quarter. Miami up 17-6 on the Louisville 40. Jose, my man, 57-yard field goal and absolutely nailed it.
He's got the Savage Eye Black, too?
He got the tribal test, the Savage Eye Black. My man's ready for war as a kicker.
The respect, just look at, he's fast. Everybody cheers.
That's Cameron Harris. 75 yards to the house.
I just want to say that was a terrible angle by number 3. I just want to say that. Just put that out there because he should have known. Like, you be better. That's all I got to say.
All right, so we got Derek King to Jalen Knightland. Oh, sorry. We're at
That's it. That's Jalen right there.
Golly, defense.
Bare booty.
Where is the defense at?
That's a wheel route.
Golly.
The touchdown ring. Yeah, that's actually really hard. What did it say? Like, I think it says to the crib or like house, like something. It's the touchdown rings. It's super hard.
Listen, I know they're not back, but like, are they close to getting to starting the conversation?
Come on now, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Understand, I'm not saying that Miami's back, but like they've always. Why am I even bringing up this topic with Christine right here?
For Christine's help, you probably shouldn't get them expectations.
Throw it up.
I just want the University of Miami to be back. Matter of fact, I was bored the other day and I was watching highlights from the Catholics versus Convicts game back in 1983. It was Miami versus Notre Dame. And like, that's the Miami I think that a lot of people completely forgot even existed, right? So it would be pretty cool to get that back in this college football landscape. I know we're years away from that happening, but like, I'm just going to throw it out there.
I'm just saying, like, you out here teasing fan bases, and that's just going to get people expectations.
Hold on.
For the inevitable letdown.
Gary, nobody forgot that Miami existed. You obviously remember. Everybody else remembers. Ed Reed's on the sideline right now. We know. Nobody forgot.
That's the thing. Well, here's the thing, Christine, I will say, even though, like, y'all didn't forget, I think, like, a lot of other people may have had a reassessment of Miami in recent years because they just haven't been there. It is what it is, right? Like, the ACC has since been taken over by the likes of Clemson, by the likes of even Louisville at times, right? Like, there have been other teams that have surged to the top of this conference, man, that, like, have really put Miami on the back burner, not only from the standpoint of, like, visibility, but in recruiting and in so many other regards, man. Like, we'll see if Manny Diaz coming back, who had that, like, just super raw defense, him coming back to the helm helps that team kind of get a little bit more of an identity back. But look, man, it comes back in bits and pieces. You ain't going to just have a switch that you flick on courtesy of a couple wins and you rolling.
But do you remember, I mean, it used to be not too far removed when a handful of first-round picks were coming out of Miami. I remember the days. Yeah, it was the Ed Reeds, it was the Andre Johnsons, it was the Clinton Porterses. Any first round in the NFL draft from like 1990 to the early 2000s, there was like 2 or 3 Canes in the first round. And you can bet on that. And now it was like the Alabamas and the Ohio States now, which they've always been there. But like that used to be Miami, guys.
Without
and that
question.
was not too. It was kind of a long time ago, but still,
early
that would
2000s.
be nice to see that happen. I mean, and come back. Yeah.
It was certainly this century, right? Like, which is, you know, something to be spoken for. Like that program was raw and can still bring in just off the name alone. They still got cats like Ed Reed coming around. Like, that's going to bring talent within the state without question.
You guys are acting like it was very long ago. 2008, University of Miami had the #1 recruiting class in the nation. First of all, that wasn't that long ago. You guys are going like all the way back to the 90s.
But you hanging your helmet on a recruiting class.
First of all, that's the first thing. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're talking about guys going in the first round. Yes, we haven't had that many first rounders, but guys are still getting drafted to the league. The problem is the coaching. So like you said, Trevor, Manny Diaz might be doing something in Miami right now, but I think it's more of the coaching rather than the players individually. So don't come from Miami. We got a lot of players that have a lot of skill.
We just trying to, look, man, we just trying
to. Don't talk about
Mike
Canes. Okay.
We don't want you to get hurt down the line. We just saying like, hey, manage, right?
Okay,
and then we can get excited eventually.
This is a good conversation to have, right? Derek King, he's a transfer. He's not going to be at Miami much longer. How do you feel like Derek King is going to be? What do you feel like he's going to be able to do this season with Miami?
Graduate transfer Derek King, man, he's special in so many different regards. Like, he at Houston was a special quarterback in that he could attack in so many different ways, right? Like, this dude was on the ground, lethal, through the air, lethal. He currently has, if he has one through the air and on the ground this evening, the longest streak in FBS of having one passing touchdown and one rushing touchdown in every game that he's played. And I think it was like 16 straight games that he had pulled that off. So this dude like gets it done in so many different ways. And one of the voids at Miami recently has been at the quarterback position. So we're seeing an elevated level of play. So hopefully that's something, one of them things, Christine, like you mentioned, with the coaching aspect, but this is another one of those pitfalls that they've had in recent years that hopefully Derek King kind of tightens up for him.
Which is insane, right? Because who was supposed to be the quarterback was one Tate Martell when he was the #1 quarterback in the country, and he was the most winningest high school quarterback ever. I don't know if that record still holds. I watched QB1, of course. Who doesn't? I loved him in QB1. He was destroying everybody, so I thought he was going straight to Ohio State. I thought he was going to spin it. I thought he was going to rip off 3 national championships before he went to the NFL, and then like, yo, where's Tate Martell? Went to Ohio State, lost the job, transferred to Miami, never even got the job, got a girlfriend. I think he didn't get engaged, right?
Hey, you throwing out information that we might want.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to go there.
All I'm saying is, though, that's like a storyline that a lot of people follow through high school. And you're like, dang, I really wish I would have seen something out of Tate Martell.
Point blank period, the man ran into some real ones. Like, I just think that, like, there's some competition, particularly at Ohio State, that where we saw, like, 3 quarterbacks on their roster that were league ready. So it's just, it ain't easy. Regardless of the amount of publicity that you have walking into a college program, like, Tate's one of those examples that, man, like, it is the best of the best when you get to those types of programs.
So I got a question. We're talking about current Miami, right? They have a swagger. It's a little different. We always talk about at Miami the swag. You know, that's kind of what plays out on the football field. How does this swag, you think, where it's a little bit more flashy, a little bit more in your face, they got the turnover chain, compared to what they had in the 90s and the early 2000s when it was more like, I will kill you?
Can we just hold on now? Hold on. We ain't about to just indict somebody for murder.
They're still saying that, but like when the mics aren't hot, they're whispering, I'm going to kill you. Under the dog pile. That's what I brought that up a couple minutes ago. That's why I like sort of breached that topic. It was like, you're seeing the swag with the turnover chain. You got the turnover rings. You got the grills. You got these players who are like clearly hyped up, right? It's still so early in the season, and this is one of those programs where, like, you're just going to pay attention to them coming out of the gate because you're going to be like, all right, let me see in the first couple of weeks if this team is going to be real or not. Coach has a couple now years under his belt with the program, so it's like, all right, clearly they're going to turn the corner sooner or later, or it's just going to be another one of those, oh, yeah, the 2020 variation of the Miami Hurricanes was just like the 2019, 2018. Maybe a little bit of hype, but eventually fell flat on their face.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I don't think the swagger ever went away, Christine, to your point. I think that that's always been there, and it's a necessity to be a part of that Miami program, right? You have a lineage like that, Warren Sapp, Ed Reed, you can go down the list, right, of all the individuals that came from there. That was a part of the DNA of that program, and it still is and it always will be. It's just that the swagger hasn't quite matched up with the on-field play. And at the moment that connects, that's when it's going to be a problem for a lot of the ACC and really the college football landscape at large.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, we done talked a lot of football. We done got into the nuts and bolts of a lot of stuff that, people have been talking about for the college football heads. But there are some other stuff that we like to enjoy, and that's the stuff that pops off on social media. So let's get to that.
It is now time for the biggest social moments of today, brought to you by the Cero by Samsung. All right, so we got Georgia Tech players. I mean, we saw this last year. Lifting weights before the game. Unsure if this actually does anything for them. What do you guys think?
Hold on. It's aesthetic, and that is very important, okay? I got to look good in my uniform, even if I'm not playing, all right? You got to understand that, like, these buys and tries got to be right if I'm going to get caught on camera celebrating in any regard.
What was the result of that game?
Don't worry about that.
Georgia Tech lost.
Irrelevant.
So listen,
irrelevant, but I look good doing it.
I'm totally cool with these dudes clanging and banging and tinking. First of all, though, I think those are like 20-pound plates. Those were the rubber ones.
Quit putting people on Front Street.
Were they 20-pound plates?
People on Front Street.
Listen, we gotta deduce a little bit of things
Listen,
here.
the triple P, the pre-party pump, it just gotta go down, bro.
I'm cool with it. And we're talking about this in retrospect. So it would have been better had Ja Tech got the dub.
Okay.
I feel like that's the same thing that happened last year. Like, it never really helped them. Next, Pitt just completely disrespecting Syracuse on the sideline.
Well, I mean, yeah, when your quarterback thinks he's like just dumping the ball off and there's not a blue jersey in sight.
Right.
It's just white and orange. And then just out of nowhere, here comes Harrison Ford, not to be confused with Indiana Jones. And it's not Paris, it's Paris, but I kind of just want to have a little play on word. And that dude's going to be doing it on Sundays. And we're going to be talking to him actually in a couple of minutes, too. So fully approve of it.
Yeah, you got to, right? You do what you daggone want to when you pop it. I think that is just a general mantra that I think all of us live by, and we should. And so, yeah, no, go ahead, do your thing, Pitt.
Trevor said it. You do what you want when you pop in.
Straight up.
How about this baby?
Okay.
I mean, this is popping, if you ask me. No?
Hold
No?
on. Can we confirm that the small human child has a life vest on? Did you confirm that? Can we check the video?
That's definitely a life vest. Yeah,
one
he has
more
a life
time.
vest
I
on.
just want to double check the.
And he's not, by the way, he's not like strapped in. He has those things on his feet, but that's the only straps that he has like holding him down. He's holding with his baby hands.
Oh, like the bindings? They got
So
like baby-sized bindings?
So we should comment on the strength. We should just appreciate the strength of the baby. I think that is the main thing that we should touch on.
What I want to know is why didn't we get the video of the baby getting some curls in before he went to rip it up on the water?
I will say he was training, like his parents trained him. He didn't just jump out on the water. He did like do some reps inside the house on that same thing, I think it was, but he was like rolling around on wood floor. The last one, we got Syracuse QB Rex Culpepper throwing his first touchdown since being declared cancer-free in 2018.
I mean, feel good story all around, right? There's nothing that needs to be added there aside from just a kudos, congrats, or whatever positive affirmations you want to offer.
Of course, and also, listen, we're still early, all right, in the college football season. So I'm not going to say I didn't Google, is Dante Culpepper, Rex Culpepper?
Hold on now.
What I should
Hold on.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
Yes. Thank you. White Culpepper. Yes.
All I'm saying, though, is there's probably a couple people watching that are like, wait, Rex Culpepper, I remember was that his dad? No,
not quite.
His dad. However, his dad did play in the NFL. He had a pretty nice run as a defensive back, if Google wasn't lying to me. But yes, to piggyback off of your point, that's a hell of a story, obviously coming back from testicular cancer in 2018, and 2 years later, spinning it. So
I just you got to know that every one of his teammates, too, was just showing so much love at the moment they saw that happen, right? Like, it's just a magical, within the locker room, ain't nothing like being able to celebrate somebody just outright.
And then that's the exact moment you're like, oh, yeah, good job. Can you Venmo me some money? Ride that high. I'm trying to get some food tomorrow.
Right.
Ride the high.
I said the last one was the last one. I lied. We got to give some love to Sunshine. Trevor Lawrence, Trigger Trev, he goes deep from midfield, putting Clemson up 14-0. That was one of 3 TDs as Clemson rolls on 49-0.
I mean, ain't no shock there, right? Like, Trevor Lawrence, the man can ball. He probably could have gone to the league last year, but he just had to come back as a formality. But in any case, right, all love for Trevor Lawrence. My namesake, I ain't got nothing.
And obviously, since his name's Trevor and that guy's name is Trevor, I love all Trevors.
Okay.
I think that Clemson will win the national championship because not only do they have the best quarterback, in my opinion, they also have one of the best running backs who didn't have to come back in Travis Etienne.
Listen, I am still shocked that Travis came back, frankly. Like, because as a running back, you want as little, like, the most tread on the tires as you can have. Like, you want to walk in there fresh-legged as you can be.
When the meter is running.
Yes,
so
correct.
You can still run.
Correct.
Run in the NFL when the meter's running. But, I mean, hats off to him. He wanted to come back. He wanted to do it right, get a natty for Clemson, and I still think that they're going to make that happen.
One time.
And I'm a little upset with you guys that you're mad at me because I Googled it when there's a lot of people at home who had the question. The Rex Culpepper thing.
I doubt it. I really doubt it. I highly doubt that that's the
tricked
truth.
about that one.
Yeah. No, not at all. We saw that Paris Ford pick. Let's take another look at it.
If Pitt drops back in coverage.
9th play of this drive for Syracuse. Pressure coming on the edge, trying to find a screen. And that ball was picked off. Intercepted by Paris Ford. Read it right, came up and made the pick. And Pitt will take over.
Well, Paris Ford is studied his film and understands the game situation. And as Paris Ford picks off that football, comes to the sideline, dunks it in the turnover net, Pittsburgh has another chance with the football.
All right, it's time now for Couch Conversations, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. And we got a special guest joining us for this here couch conversation.
Wonder who it could be.
Paris Ford, right? Like the intro said it all. Cartier frames donning right here joining us on the wrap up. And Paris, first things first, the Cartiers, how did you come about these?
Oh, man, it was a gift from my big brother. You know, I've been playing real well, so he thought he'd bring them out his collection and he'd lend them to me.
That's
so
all right. That's all right. And so we saw the pick to open this thing up, but we are primarily concerned with the Selly game afterwards. The dunk, right? The little windmill that you pulled off and everything like that. Talk to us about that, man. How'd you come up with the idea?
Man, it was just a turnover. We do that to get the team excited and hyped up, man. And I'm glad I was the one who get the interception. So, you know, we just took it and turned up with that jump.
Paris, what's going on, man? Gary Striewski, congratulations on the dub earlier today. What I want to know is because your quarterback, Pickett, had a nice little Selly game of his own, and he included the linemen, and they did a little bit of post-celebratory, I guess, hydration. So your Selly on the defensive end compared to the offensive Selly, which one do you give higher marks to?
I'm a defensive guy. You know I'm going with the defense without no doubt. You hear me? But that offensive one, that's pretty dope too, though. I ain't gonna lie, man. I crashed the Jimbo and Kenny, so I really like that one too. Salute, man.
We ain't gonna incriminate nobody. We don't know the ages of nobody, so we ain't gonna say what the hell to say. It was a little shocking. Right, exactly, bro. We gonna keep that real G right here on the wrap up. Paris, so we seen on Twitter too, man. Tyler Boyd, fellow Pittsburgh Panther, said you the best daggone safety in the land right about now. How do you agree with that there?
Oh, man, that's big words because I used to look up to Tyler Boyd since Little League. He played for the Cleveland Bears. I played for the Garfield Gators. We was both in the City League. And watching him and his game, man, that's big words from him. So I guess I got to wear that S on my chest with 10 feet, with 10 toes on the ground, you know?
Paris, I got a question for you, man. You're a Pittsburgh dude. You were born in the city. Now you rep the city on the side of your helmet. So through and through, you're a Pittsburgh Panther. How cool is that, man? Because not a lot of people get the opportunity to play D1, but not in the place that they were born and bred. So it just has to mean a little something extra for you.
Right, man. No doubt at all, man. It's definitely special. I feel like I'm living my dream right now, man. I couldn't ask. God put me in this position. I wouldn't trade in this university for no other university. So, I mean, I guess I'm living my dream, man. All glory to God.
I dig that very much so, man. And Paris, I'm curious as to, look, I played a little college ball myself. We had our running backs group as a position group named Run BMC, right? What is the position group name for the DBs over there at Pitt?
We called them Hounds, man. Shout out to my Hounds.
One time for 'em. One time for 'em.
Paris, I did not play college football at all, but I get to be friends with Trevor, so I guess that's cool enough for me. Listen, I'm not asking for the full-on scouting report, and I know you're probably out celebrating amongst your teammates, but I know you probably have a side eye to this Louisville game right now, and you play them next week. Can you give us a little early scouting report? And trust me, they're playing right now. They're not going to hear if you decide you want to talk a little trash.
No, I'm definitely tuned in to my friends. I'm in my friend's room now, currently watching the game. I'm liking what I'm seeing. They got a guy by the name of Tutu Atwell. He's really fast actually, and our running back's pretty strong too. But we're definitely looking for the challenge, man. And we just can't wait to see those guys next week. Got to take it practice by practice, and hopefully Saturday we come out victorious.
Paris doesn't know that we don't have to be PC on this program.
No, we let it fly. We let it fly around here, and that's all good. Paris Ford, Jordan, to wrap up here. Paris, man, we've checked out your highlights quite a bit, man. We understand that you like to get physical out there. You like to lay a little wood, if you will. And I'm curious as to know, has that been a day one thing for you? Has it always been that part about the game that you've loved since day one of playing it?
Without a doubt. If you know me, you know that physicality is my type of game. I wouldn't trade this game. This game is where I can be that other guy. You know, a lot of stuff has been going on in the city, and I feel like I'm my city's bragging rights right now. So I wear that heavily. I wear that coat heavily. You know.
Without a doubt. Paris Ford, Pittsburgh safety, joining us. Congratulations on the 21-10 win over Syracuse. Best of luck for the rest of the season, big dog. Y'all take care.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for having me.
So Paris Ford, aka Diddy Bop 12, he was very like casual with his Cartier sunglasses. But I went to his Instagram. He also had on a full Burberry like outfit. It was like a shirt.
Let that man
and short
stunt.
Thing.
Let that man cook.
Stunting.
Let that man cook. Yeah.
Miami closed out the game 47-34. Does that mean? I mean, Gary, you mentioned this. Are the Canes back or not?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to disrespect my guy Trevor right here who says, Gary, stop asking stupid questions. No, Miami's not back. They just won a daggone game.
First of all, I was not that aggressive.
Rude.
I did not say don't ask stupid questions because I don't think it's a stupid question.
You said something along those lines.
No, I didn't. You out here lying on my name, and I don't appreciate it.
I'm a little upset with Christine because she's like, I love Miami. I love Clemson. They're both in the ACC. Make up your mind, Christine.
Listen. They're in two separate divisions. They can play in the ACC championship and just duke it out. And guess what? I don't lose either way.
No, that's not how any of this works. You need to pick a side.
That's exactly how it works. I went to both schools. I can do whatever I want.
Say it with me. Fraudulent.
Go Canes. Go Canes, go Tigers, okay? Don't be mad. Just because I went to 2 winning schools, okay, does not mean that you have to be jealous.
You get no credit for that.
You just sound like a hater. Anyways, any final thoughts that you guys want to spew out? Anybody else? No?
Go ahead.
No. I listen. I'm gonna let you go because I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't here to question.
I was just gonna say, I'm excited now to watch Paris Ford take on Louisville. Actually, next week. Now that we know that he's like a top safety prospect. Well, I mean, now that we've introduced him to the rest of the nation as one of the top safety prospects in the nation, and seeing what he can do. And Pitt coming out the gates 2-0. They're playing Louisville, who obviously lost tonight. So looking forwed to that matchup next week.
Shout out Gary for just laying claim to the fact that we put Paris on to the whole world. We made him on the wrap up. The first time ever of this show.
Matter of fact, that interception, that was my interception. I don't know why Paris is trying to take credit for my interception.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching the wrap up presented by Samsung QLED. We'll be here next week at 11 p.m. See you then.
We didn't talk about a single mummy on this show. I'm red hot about that.
Good night.
That's crazy.
Good night.